Hey guys, hey. I wanted to come back for an Alchemy 8, part 3, and continue with some of the things that I learned about the wheel and the devil and strength and temperance, the hangman, and the empress's fertility, all of it, yeah, coyote, trickster, frog medicine, porcupine playing, yeah, elk medicine, and swan medicine. Sleek. Yeah, it's been a grindy week, and it's, yeah, lots of ups and downs, and lots of all around the wheel of samsara, the wheel of suffering, the wheel of fortune. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, the wheel of our own making, and our own crucifixion, yeah, our own journey to hell and back and through purgatory, which is kind of funny. I picked up a book today, and it was exactly what I needed, and kind of, yeah, it's always what it is. It's just being open to what's being offered and given, being open to receive that which is being offered and given, being able to recognize what's being offered and given, being able to recognize and respond to the gift, to what's being offered, to what's being asked, and to what we have, yeah, to respond and to express, to be, to give, to receive with. Do we have the space? Are we making the room to receive and to be and to allow, and to allow the other and to witness and to receive? Yeah. So, yeah, I picked up this Joseph Campbell companion book. It was on my shelf. I was looking for an old journal that I finished just a couple months ago. I couldn't find it, but I found this, and it's funny. I was just flipping through it, and I just opened to this page. And there's a couple things that really relate, so yeah, it goes along with, yeah, my Alchemy 8 stuff, so it's perfect. It's perfect. It says the goal of life is to make your heartbeat match the beat of the universe, to match your nature with nature. In Buddhism, the goal of life is the repose of the nirvanic experience of life, joyful participation in the sorrows of the world, and soon. In a credo religion, the goal of life tends to get formulated. In Islam, it is in the very name of the religion. Islam means submission, to bow in acquiescence and reverence to the will of God. This credo gives warriors enormous courage and power. Whether they're going to get killed or not get killed, they move in with submission to the fate. In fact, that's what a warrior has to do anyhow. The warrior's approach is to say yes to life, yeah to it all. And love informs the whole universe right down into the abyss of hell. In terms of historical action, Christianity and Islam have the same character. They're going to remake the world for their God. I find this repulsive, but it's what makes history, so you have to say yes to it. If you say no to the little detail of your life, you've unraveled the whole thing. You have to say yes to the whole thing, including its extinction. That's what's known as joyful participation in the sorrows of the world. It's my little theme song. Love informs the whole universe right down into the abyss of hell. So, Dante saw that even the fires of hell as a manifestation of God's love. The problem with hell is that the fire doesn't consume you, the fires of transformation does. Fire is symbolic of the night sea journey, the upcoming of shadow, repressed biography, history, and traumas, and the burning out of imps of malice. Purgatory is a place where the fire is turned into a purging fire that burns out the fear system, burns out the blockage so that it will open. If hell is the wasteland, then purgatory would be the journey through Or purgatory would be the journey where you leave the place of pain. You are still in pain, but you're in quest with a sense of possible realization. There is no longer despair. You really do not have a sacred place, a rescue land, until you can find some little field of action or place to be where it's not a wasteland, where there is a little spring of ambrosia. It's a joy that comes from inside. It is not something that puts the joy in you, but a place that lets you so experience your own will, your own intention, and your own wish, that in small the joy is there. The sin against the Holy Ghost, I think, is despair. The Holy Ghost is that which inspires you to realization, and despair is the feeling that nothing can come. That is absolute hell. Find a place where there's joy, and the joy will burn out the pain. So, yeah. Find that little place, find that little spring, find that little wellspring of ambrosia that you carry. Find that little spark, find that little flame, find that little light that only you can claim. And so, yeah, the joy that comes from inside. It's not something that puts the joy in you, but a place that lets you so experience your own will, your own intention, and your own wish. In small, the joy is there. The sin against the Holy Ghost, I think, is despair. The Holy Ghost is that which inspires you to realization, and despair is the feeling that nothing can come. That is absolute hell. So make the space and find a place where there's joy, and that joy will burn out the pain. And maybe too, like, that joy is the other side of pain. Just like, yeah, I've heard Rumi say that joy is connected to your sorrow, and sorrow is connected to your joy. And that, yeah, couldn't have one without the other. So participate joyfully in the sorrows of the world. And so, yeah, that is a good one that I needed to hear today, because although, like, I do have hope, and I do have inspiration, and I do have passion for what I'm working on and working with, I have felt a little bit of despair and a lot of discouragement, and yeah, a lot of irritation and frustration, aggravation. And so, yeah, it's been hard to know what to do with that, and still, like, holding the space for it to be there and listen to what, you know, is being offered, and to what is asking me to reclaim and own and be accountable for it. And, like, yeah, there was some victim stories under the surface that I'm becoming aware of. And it was funny because I had a dream this morning that I woke up to and from. And yeah, it's kind of got that victim theme, like, where there was a character in the dream who was driving down the road in a big truck, but she wasn't looking out or through the window. She was just kind of laying while the car was driving, crying, and looking at me, crying about the circumstances, and, like, kind of having a pity party and pouting about, like, where we were going, even though it was like, well, you're choosing it, but you're just going along with it, kind of a thing, you know? And it was just an interesting thing that made me think about, well, yeah, why am I, blaming the circumstances? Am I blaming my circumstances, or am I blaming, like, the outer circumstances for my pain and suffering? Or is it, like, some kind of self-pity, which makes me feel self-importance, which is like a form of self-impotence, which is like depending on someone outside of me or my outside circumstances to change for me to do something with it, or to be happy, or to work with it, or to play, or to just take accountability for where I'm going on my path, you know? And so, I don't know, I just thought that was an interesting thing to look at, like, in a way to ask questions and kind of, yeah, look into, to see that. And yeah, it is kind of funny, because I have been frustrated with other people and their choices to not, like, choose for themselves. They think they're choosing for themselves, but they're not. They're choosing for their convenience and their image and their pride and their fear and their stories and their status and whatever it is, like for comfort and for security and for false light. Yeah, that's how I've been seeing it anyways. Like, and I know and I acknowledge that I see through my own filters and my own biases and my own like opinions, my own perceptions, my own lenses of belief, my own lenses of experience, my own memories, my own complexes and wounds. But I also have my own vision and my own insights about what I see. And so I know some of it's just certain channels of being able to perceive certain realities, and some of it's my own filtered perception, subjective reality. So, but like, yeah, I acknowledge that I'm having my own experience, but I do see a lot of things with very, profound connections and depth. And so that's like one of the things that was bothering me too, is because for the people who know me and the people who I've been in relationship with, I expect that they know that I have integrity and that I'm honest and that I'm direct and I'm reliable and I'm impeccable with my word, and I follow through, and I say what I'm gonna do. I do follow through, and I am honest in my dealings and my words and my actions. And I would hope that that example has proved, even though I know I don't have to prove anything, but I would hope that that would stand on its own, where people who have been in relationship with me, who have interacted and exchanged with me, know that I'm a fair, honest, caring, compassionate, honest person with integrity. And so I feel like, why wouldn't that give more? Why wouldn't that, give more substance to my words and to what I'm sharing and to what I'm offering, to what I'm experiencing and saying that I'm seeing? Like, why is it not even considered? And why won't my loved ones or my friends or my family really sit down and ask questions? Are they unable to? Are they even unable to consider that there may be another reality, or that there may be substance or something to what I'm saying? It's like, why would they take popular culture and their, I guess, trusted talking head personalities that I guess they feel like they've bonded with in some way? They would take that word and that opinion and that directive or that story over my own word and what I'm trying to offer and share and say and give and be. It's just remembering that it's not really personal and it's not really that way in certain ways, but it does feel that way in certain ways, where just feel outright dismissed and dismissed, where there's no value in what I have to say, and there's no real wonder. It's just assumptions. It's just assumptions of what I believe. It's not, really any curiosity to really understand or know. It's just, part of the same programming. And that's what's frustrating about it, and that's what feels draining about it. But I guess I can let that go, because yeah, it's not really about what I know or what I don't know, and it's not about what they know or what they don't know either. So I guess yeah, I can let that all go. But like yeah, and just not give my power away to what other people are going to think or believe about me, because I believe something differently, or because I understand something differently, or I know something else to be true for me. So, yeah. I'm having my own experience in my own reality too, and I don't need to prove, yeah, what I'm seeing for it to be true for me. And so, yeah, it is frustrating feeling like just bullshit, psychological attacks and like bullshit judgments and opinions and projections about what's moral and correct. And yeah, so there's all that, like, that I could look deeper into, and I could, yeah, maybe repel rather than attract, yeah. And so maybe work on that. But yeah, I wanted to share a little bit about the wheel and like the words that I got. And yeah, it has been quite the ride on the wheel. But just remembering that it's all of it, and yes to all of it, and it's all connected. The joy and the sorrow, and it's all a circle. And get to experience it all and source from it, and respond to it, and create with it, and match our rhythm to it, and honor it all. And so, yeah. Oh yeah, and it is about allowance and full potentiality. And yeah, just because it's uncomfortable sometimes doesn't mean it doesn't have value, or that it's not a necessary ingredient or part of an essential part of the whole for our growth and learning and becoming. So there's that as well, yeah, to look at. And expectations, like letting go of what I think it should be or feel like, or how it should seem, or how the other is supposed to wake up, or how the other is supposed to grow, or how the other is supposed to realize what they need to see and realize. Yeah, what they realize. So, just play my part and like do the best I can to see what I can see and realize for me. So, yeah. So yeah, I thought this was interesting. Lack. This is like, what's the lack about? Is it the lack, or is it like the disallowance of our fullness? And so I think that's where lack stems, is the disallowance of our fullness. And so what I found about lack, it's a hole that water can enter and escape from. And so that's interesting when you look at like what water can symbolize. And water can symbolize emotions, and water can symbolize the unconscious. Yeah. And water symbolizes a lot of things. Water symbolizes life. Water symbolizes currency. Yeah. And so lack, Middle English, which is connected to leak, which is kind of funny, taking a leak, you know, and an energy leak. And like an information leak could be too. And yeah, lackless, without blame or fault. It's kind of funny. Interesting. Like I'm working with the victim. It's like without blame or fault. because the victim wants to blame, you know, and that's how the victim gives her power away, is through blaming the other. And so, lacking, deficient or deficiency, and then a leak, to let water in or out. Middle Dutch, lekken, to drip, to leak, lekka. Old Norse and English, moisten, water, irrigate. And then leak, revelations, secrets come to be known in spite of efforts of concealment. Revelations and secrets come to be known in spite of efforts of concealment. So, that's interesting. Leak and lack, to be without. So, poor, lacking money or resources, destitute, needy, indigent, small, scanty. Connected to Old French. Poor, wretched, dispossessed, inadequate, weak, thin. Latin, pauper, poor, not wealthy. Pre-Latin is pauperos, producing little, getting little, which is actually a root word, few, little. And then there's another word, parar, or P-A-R-A-R-E, to produce, to bring forth. So it's like, that's interesting. Like, to bring forth something is connected to poor, but it's, yeah, to produce or to procure. And that, like, is the opposite of, like, lacking, you know? So you bring it forth, you bring it through yourself, you bring it through the form, you bring it through this water pour, I guess, the water bearing vessel, pour. Yeah, that's kind of funny to think about. Anyways, yeah. And poverty, Old French, misery, wretched condition, from Latin, pauper and poor. Yeah. Victim, living creature killed, offered, victima, Latin. A sacrifice, a person who was oppressed by some power or situation, ruined, injured, or made to suffer in the pursuit of an object or gratification of a passion or infatuation, disease, or disaster. A person taken advantage of, duped, cheated, tricked, swindled, unfortunate. Debt, anything owed or due from one person to another, a liability or obligation to pay or render something to another. From Old French and Latin, debitum, a thing owed. And debere, D-E-B-E-R-E, to owe, originally meant to keep something away from someone, to withhold. And yeah, habir is to have, and gob is to, like, it's G-H-A-B-H, is to give or receive. And so I thought those were all interesting kind of like correspondences and the way that like things are exchanged or unexchanged, or not. Yeah, the exchange is honored or dishonored. Yeah, so that's really interesting how, yeah, it's the exchange of giving and receiving, or offering and being open to that receptivity and bringing it through and knowing that it can come through. Yeah. And making the space and allowing it to come through and be received. Yeah. So that's all, yeah, pretty interesting and deep. So, yeah. There's so many other words though, like, burden, carrying a burden, and is like some of the, like a phrase that jumped out was beast of burden, an archaic burthen, capacity of a ship. Old English, a load, a weight, a charge, a duty, which is kind of funny. What burdens are we carrying? And the burdens do trigger us too, because they carry a charge. And so that's kind of interesting where, yeah, maybe that is a leak of our currency, like the burdens that we're choosing to carry. It's kind of funny. So Also, a burden can be known as a child, that which is born. And there's some root words, bird and bear, to carry, to bear children. And to carry, to bear, or to convey, to take along, to transport. And to transport in a vehicle is like an Anglo-French. And then there's a late Latin, caricare, from Latin carum, originally meant two-wheeled Celtic war chariot. And then caros, from the Gaulish Celtic, vehicle for carrying, and to run, transported. And another phrase, to be carried away, because we get carried away in our plays when we forget that we're playing at being something and we're not that being. We're just playing at being that. So it's funny. Getting carried away, having the attention fully absorbed. And then to carry, bear up and support, to gain victory, to bear a successful conclusion, and to carry out, to conduct to completion. So, yeah, I thought that was all interesting. And then the debt, like the debt, the thing owed, and then from debere, D-E-B-E-R-E, originally meant to keep something away from someone, to withhold. So I totally thought that, like, yeah, that's the MO of the miser, is to keep people in debt, and to keep us indebted, or to make us believe that we're in debt, or that we owe someone something, or someone owes us something, that we're owed something, or that someone owes us something, or we owe someone else something. We're indebted, or someone's indebted to us. And that's bullshit, and that's slavery, and that's withholding what we have to give and what we have to receive. Like, it's withholding, and it's not allowing a space for the exchange and for a fullness to be received and honored. So that's what certain things that I was getting about all of those things. But I do think I want to contemplate a little more, because there was so much in all of these things. But it did, like when I was kind of working on this and investigating and looking at it, it just was looking at like some of the things about like why, it's about the miser and the martyr and the victim, like in the poor me story and the poverty and the lack. And then why are we operating on that track? Like when it's not lack, and when we have everything we need, and when we can call on our resources, and when we can see our resources if we ask to see those resources. Like, are we willing to see those resources? Are we willing to claim those resources? Or are we willing to work with those resources, play with them? Are we willing to get to know them? Are we willing to get dirty? Are we willing to make a mess? Or do we want like someone else to control it, sanitize it, take care of it for us, tell us what's best, And that's like one of the things too, is like, are we willing to take accountability for our own mess, for our own garden, for our own potential, for our own life, for what we want to create? Or are we going to like, want someone to take care of it for us, giving our power away so that we feel better, more safe, secure, right, whatever? And that's what was, been a little frustrating for me, because it's like, take responsibility for your own well-being, for your own health. Like, seriously, some of these things that we're being told, they don't contribute to wellness, they don't contribute to health, they don't contribute to empowerment, they don't contribute to like knowing how to take care of ourselves or actually doing that. Like, it just keeps us in fear and ignorance, and that's what it's like freaking really annoying and irritating to me, is that like they feel like they have all the answers, but they're not offering any solutions. It's all about control. It's all about suppression. It's all about sanitization. It's all about isolation. It's all about like suppression and tyrannical enforcement and peer pressure and group herd thinking, hive mind mentality, It's just ridiculous to me, and it doesn't leave any room for any other kind of sharing, thinking, creating, or innovating for what's needed or what could be like shared and all of that. And so it just like really turns me off, and that's repulsive to me because their God is science, and it's big pharma and all of that, like just suppression, repression, oppression, masking over symptoms, not creating any conditions that contribute to health or well-being, or like really freaking knowing who we are as whole beings. It's like compartmentalization and it's separation, and that's the root of disease. Like when we cut ourselves off from source, from all of our resources, from who we are, from our own body, from our own breath, from our own life force, like seriously, like that's when we're afraid, disconnected, and really vulnerable to being manipulated and misled and used. Yeah. Without our knowledge, you know, like, and it's like, yeah, like I know people have their own intelligence and they feel they're doing the best they can, but they don't know that they're being manipulated and influenced by some major mind control techniques and tactics that have been developed, skilled, and honed. Like, it's easy to see through when we know what we're looking for, but these people have had practice on what they're doing, what they do, and it's like, if you don't know how to recognize it, you're not going to see through it. And like, that's what's sad about it, is that people understand that there's corruption and that there's agendas and that there's mind control, but they refuse to look into it because they're buying into it and they don't want their illusions to come freaking crashing down, you know. They don't want to see the truth. They just want to be told that it's the best thing to do, and that's like not true, you know. And so that's what really, really bothers me. But like, people are going to see what they want to see, but like when it affects me and when they expect me to go along with their programming, I'm not going to do that. And I guess if they're going to judge me as being selfish or self-serving, I guess they're going to do that too, you know, like, because they have no idea. Yeah, they can't see through, like, can't see through their own stuff about it. They can't see that there is a whole nother view. And so like, I don't want to force them like to do what I think, you know, is best for me, because it's not what's best for them, it's what's best for me. And I just wish, yeah, like that there wasn't that hive mind think mentality where it's like one size fits all reality of what authority says is best, or what your legitimized authority says is best, because it's not my authority and it's not my truth and it's not my experience and it's not, what I'm willing to accept and allow, and it's not what I want to create, and it's not like true for me. So yeah, that's like what's frustrating, is people being pushy, feeling like I'm being pushed into a corner, so I want to push back, like, and that is like, yeah, puts me in defense mode, and I really don't want to be there. But like, yeah, it shows me where some of these stories are coming from, and the victim circumstances and the blame of like, why can't you wake up and see your own bullshit kind of thing, instead of like looking at me like I'm the wrong one. Seriously, like, damn, come on now. And so yeah, it's just silliness, and like in certain ways, like I know it's for like, it's exactly what I need right now, like to experience and to be, and it's just a part I get to play, and this too shall pass. But like, yeah, some of it is like, I feel like being harassed and like freaking now it's all about wearing down people and like self-policing and intimidation and all of that, like on steroids. Like, it's just like being in school again, but it's like amplified and people don't even see it. Like, the way that like the group dynamic and the social learning is supposed to hypnotize and just make you comply. And it's just, yeah, it's bullshit, and it's okay to call it shit because it is bullshit. But like, yeah, it is what it is, and what do I do with it, and how do I respond? And so, yeah, that's just, yeah, that's what I get to do with it. It's my choice on how I get to respond and what I get to focus on and how I get to move on, and yeah, and choose to focus on my possibility, my potentiality, my reality, and what I want to create and be and express and free and allow and invite to come through me. So, yeah. But, oh yeah, and then just like inviting that that remembrance to remember it's all the God self, like, and just remembering like it's okay to be mad at the bullshit, but like the bullshit is is valuable too, and I get to choose, and I get to laugh at it too, and not take it so seriously, because it's not all so serious. It's all right, yeah, to choose and to work with and to use, and then whatever else isn't needed, I can let go of and say, okay, the universe, compost this, please, or can I have another challenge, please? It's more in alignment with what I want to create, because like, yeah, offers and counter offers, yeah, and things like that. But like, I'm willing to receive the challenges that are here for me right now. But if these challenges don't serve my highest good, and they're not in alignment with what like I'm here to do, and with what I want to create, and with what God's asking and offering, like, can I please have something else that's more in alignment with what is going to grow me and teach me and show me like who I am, and also help me to assist in service and empowering the whole. So like, yeah, just asking for things like that, like where maybe I don't have to be so mad at the challenge or mad at the bullshit. I can just say, okay, thanks. Yeah, this stinks, but like the stink will clear, and yeah, like, well, it'll be something else, and you know, like it is what it is right now, and just allow. But like, yeah, we'll see what else we can do with it, or what else we can allow, and what else can be, and yeah, and then yeah, know that it's not all mine to carry, and that there's an intelligence that knows what it's doing, and trust the life to do her thing with it, and surrender it, because it's not all mine to carry, only some of it. And what I choose to carry is a labor of love. It's because I love, and because I'm willing to like allow that pain for all I love. And that's like what my passion is, or what passion and humility and carrying that burden is to me. Like, and so like, if I can remember that too, like, yeah, that I don't need to be a martyr and suffer for someone else's sins, or someone else's projections, or some yeah, image of my sins, or whatever that is. Yeah, and it's just funny, like, just remember some of it's programming and some of it's not mine, and then like, yeah, look at what's mine and use it, or honor it and welcome and integrate it. So yeah, I do, like, I have been wanting to tell some people off though, and like totally call them on their bullshit of what they're actually doing for their health besides going along with this, you know. If they're so freaking worried about people dying and about like guilt tripping others, like, you know, look at your own shit, like look at your own bullshit. Kind of funny, like, yeah, kind of just want to reflect that back sometimes, or shine that right back at ya. It's kind of funny, like, but yeah, knowing that it's not personal, and like also knowing that it's okay. It's okay, whatever it is, and however it is, and however it gets to me. But yeah, I started with the poverty words and the words of lack and the debt and the contraction words, or that mindset. And then as I went on, I circled around to the words of abundance and prosperity and fortune and wealth. And of course, the best, most profound words that actually connected to everything else was wellness, and that held it all, and that well holds it all and is all of it, and all is well. So the well holds it all, and it's kind of funny. Old English adverb in a satisfactory manner, and well, abundantly, very, very much. Indeed, to be sure, with good reason, nearly for the most part. And so, Proto-Germanic, well, wella, to wish, to will. Old English, in good fortune, happy, satisfactory, agreeable to wish or desire, in good health, not ailing, well-to-do, prosperous. Well, to spring, rise, gush. Old English. To boil, to bubble up, to rise, in reference to a river. Well anon, to roll, roiling or bubbling water. A hole dug for water, spring of water. Well, while. Spring of water, fountain, whilen. Source, which anything is drawn, a wellspring. And so, this is really cool how that's connected to the water. And how it was referenced with rivers, and how it kind of connects to the water, the currents of water and currency, and leaks, and motion and bubbling and coming up, bubbling up. So, and then that connects to will, to wish. Old English, desire, to be willing, to be used, to be about, to will, to wish, to desire, to choose, to wish, to will, according to one's wish, well-being, riches. It also can connect to the mind, determination, purpose, desire, wish, request, joy, delight. Sanskrit word that connects to it means chooses and prefers. And then to be chosen, eligible, excellent, choosing, to determined by act or choice. To will, to command. Will, desire, to wish, and favor. So, and that's connected to another word, weal, W-E-A-L, well-being, welfare, to wish well, to wheel, well, will, and round. Yeah, which is pretty interesting. Wealth, happiness, also prosperity and abundance, possessions or riches, well-being, health, wealthy, riches. So it's all about the well and the wheel and the will. Yeah, so, and the circle. The wheel, circle, suffixed, reduplicated form of or root of quell, which means to revolve, to move around, to sojourn, to dwell, to turn like a wheel. And circle and all, Old English, E-A-L-L, y'all. Every, entire, the whole quantity of, fully, wholly, entirely, all that is, everything without limit. So that's abundant right there. That's all of it. That's all of it. Yes to it all. Circle, which is also connected, of course, to cycle, and it's Old French cycle, perpetual circulating of time, or on the completion of which certain phenomena return in the same order. Connected to Greek, cyclos, K-Y-C-L-O-S, circle, wheel, circular body, circular motion, cycle of events, quell, K-W-E-L, to revolve, to move around, circle, ring, hoop, encompass, circular orbit, group of persons surrounding a center of interest. So, yeah, all of that, which, all connects. And then one thing, probably one of my favorite words that I looked up and then I was pleasantly surprised and yeah, just kind of touched about it, like, because it was deep to me and it really resonates. So it's freedom, and it's the word free. And so, power of self-determination, state of will, deliverance. That's from Old English. Free, free from Old English. Freo, F-R-E-O. Exempt from, not in bondage, acting of one's own will, also noble, joyful. And then free as, which is Proto-Germanic, comes from beloved. Beloved, not in bondage. A dear beloved, which is connected to a root, P-R-I, to love, which meant beloved or friend. Freon, F-R-I-J-O-N, to love. Freod, Old English, affection, friendship, peace, personal security, love, which is connected to Frigga, or Freya, or Frigg, of Old Norse, wife of Odin. Frior, peace, wife. Yeah, beloved. And so to free someone is to love someone. To love someone is to free them. And if you love someone, yeah, free them to be loved. So there's a lot to that. And I want to, yeah, ask to see and feel more into that. Ask what wants to come through and be expressed and seen and realized through that. So freedom. And the freedom to be, and the freedom to be full, whole, imperfect, perfect, and free. And the freedom to make my own mistakes and to live my life for me. And the freedom for me to experience life how I choose to experience it and live and embody it for me. So I want to claim that for me and extend that allowance for all other beings to claim what they need for their well-being, to free them to choose all they need with freedom, fullness, and responsibility in their love, in their ways, in their ways of being. So be free. So love is free, all is free. Set it free, let love be. Let love be, let us be. Set love free. Love is free. Yeah, that's a beloved. So let the beloved be free. Let the beloved be free. And yeah, maybe I'll come back with another alchemy video. But yeah, I was feeling like kind of raw and just a lot of inner conflict. But like I know like it's all okay, really. Like, because I know it's all being harmonized and it's all coming into balance and it's all coming into alignment. And just like the little things that aren't, like, they're being burned away. Yeah. They're being purified and integrated and yeah, they're coming up to be seen. And so, and healed, yeah, and loved and freed. And so that's good. That's some good alchemy, even though it feels like grindy and there are some intense emotions that go along with it and some frustrations and some things, but like it's all of it. And so yes to all of it, and laughing about it and making fun of it sometimes, and just knowing that some of it's ridiculous and it's okay, like, and it's just a construct, and to have compassion for the pain that we have about certain things and the discomfort that we have as we're healing and growing and yeah, going through these changes and transition and dark nights of the soul, and tempering that wisdom and yeah, coming into that new vision of wholeness, fullness, wellness, freedom, belonging, and responsibility. So with that, yeah, thanks for listening. Happy alchemy, and yeah, be well. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, see ya for now.